Alrighty, we're here with Amir, King Kong. First of all, Amir, one of the things I think a lot of people, at least I haven't seen, asked you is how you got started in boxing, how you got started in the game. How did you, get into it at what age, and then what happened?
I started boxing at the age of 8 years old, and the reason I started boxing was because I was very hyperactive when I was young, full of energy, and just needed to divert my energy to something positive, And so my dad took me to the boxing club, which was around the corner from where we lived, and since then, I've never looked back. I've always been training, and one thing it did help me do as well was it made me behave. It made me respect people, and I stopped misbehaving at home. I was always respectful because the reason I had to be good at home was so I'm allowed to go back to the boxing club, and also in the boxing gym they used to teach us to behave and everything. So they had to always behave really to go back to the gym, and that's what it was all about, man. I love the gym that much. I remember the first time I went into the gym, I walked in and I loved every minute of it. I said, this is the place for me to be in. I like this place. I remember smelling that, the blood smell, the sweat smell.
Yeah.
Walking down the steps, it was in a cellar, this place, really stuffy. It was full of sweat, and it was a cold winter day, and I just thought, wow, this is where I want to be, man. And people hitting the bags and training and stuff, and I loved it. Since then, I never looked back, man. At the age of 8, I just kept going and going and going.
At what age did you realize that not only were you better than everybody else, but you could go pretty far in this sport?
I think it was probably the age of 14, 15. I was winning national titles. I was winning European World Championships in the amateurs, junior Olympic tournaments, and I was just cleaning up in the junior level. No one in the junior level could touch me.
Wow.
And I was rated #1 in the world in the amateurs. Then I went on at the age of 17. Went qualified for Olympic Games. I was the youngest ever from Great Britain. They had to change the rules for me from 19 to 17. So they changed the rules for me. I became a senior. Started competing. I was a boy fighting men, and I qualified for Olympic Games. The only quiet guy to qualify, and I went to the Olympics and beat the favourite guys, to win the medals. On my journey to the finals, when I faced the 2-time Olympic champion, which was Mario Kindelin, the Cuban, and he beat me in the final by, I think it was like 6.5 points. He beat me by, and it was a close fight. And he was just a very slick boxer. He kept making me miss and hitting me and tapping me. He was quick, very slick fighter. And so I got a silver medal. I was the youngest ever in Great Britain to win a medal in the Olympics. Went home, I had a break, chilled out, and then a year later they had an England versus Cuba tournament, and that's when I faced Mario Kindelin again. But this time when I faced him, I was just working on that one style to face him. When you go to Olympic Games, you can't really focus on one style because you're fighting different guys. It's a draw. But this time I know I was only facing Mario Kindelin, and I focused on beating him, fighting him, and I beat him by I think it was 6 points when I had that rematch. It was not the same as beating him in the Olympic Games because I would have rather had the gold medal.
Yeah.
But I beat him in a rematch, and then I turned professional a couple of days after that.
When you turned professional, how much pressure did you feel? Because here in the States, you were highly touted. Everybody was talking about you, Amir Khan, the next big thing to happen to boxing. How much pressure did you feel at that moment? When you became a professional.
Well, I had promoters from all over the world approaching me from Germany, America, England, everywhere. They all wanted to sign Amir Khan. They love that excitement, that exciting style, that speed, that power, that explosiveness. I signed up with a promoter called Frank Warren in the UK, and I started my career off in the UK because obviously I was from there. And I had my first 18, 19 fights there. Enjoyed myself, had some great fights, and built a name up for myself. I was fighting on Trestle TV. Everyone got to see me, having viewing figures like 10 million people watching me fight.
Wow.
Every stadium was full. From my first fight, I was selling at arenas, and from then I went on, and my dream was always to fight in America, and to be based out here, train out here, even though I like the training in England, you know, I love fighting in England, but my dream was always to fight at the like places like Madison Square Garden, Las Vegas, and Los Angeles, and them places that I normally see on television. You know, where the likes of Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, and them guys fought. And now I'm in that position now where, you know, I'm fighting in them arenas. Like my next fight is gonna be against Devon Alexander, and that's gonna be at the MGM Arena, and I'm gonna be headlining the show over there. People just love going there to boxing events, but I'm gonna be headlining an event there, which is amazing, you know. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I mean, everything's gone the way I want it to go, and it's just gone perfect for me.